Are you ready?
Yes.
Yeah. My fellow Americans.
What? What are you trying to do right now? No, it sounded good though.
It sounded good.
It was professional.
Yeah, ready? My fellow Americans.
You did the same thing.
Welcome back to the New World Old Soul podcast. Melissa's laughing because I tried opening the podcast up once already using
With
my fellow Americans. And she gave me a hard time about it, and I just did the same thing.
I didn't know if you were going to go into, I did not have relations with that, or if you were going to like go into like a...
The reason I'm saying that is that it is a holiday weekend or week. I suppose it is Thanksgiving here in the United States for all of our foreign international viewers. I get that this doesn't apply to you. So I figured I'd open it up with my fellow Americans.
Well, I mean, the episode applies to everybody though. So being that it is Thanksgiving week, we wanted to let you guys know that we were really thankful for you. And then we wanted to make this episode
nice. Wow.
more about the viewers. So I put out on Instagram about an hour ago, like, hey, ask us anything. Nothing's off limits. And we had some really interesting stuff come through.
We compiled a list of 21 questions, some things that we have maybe addressed at one point in time, and many others that I don't think we have.
Yeah.
And no promises that we get through all of these. Big thanks to all of you out there for submitting these questions.
And if you didn't submit a question, follow us on Instagram. We'll definitely do this again. I think I might start doing this like once a week on Instagram.
Yeah, do that. I'm not on Instagram, but everybody else out there, make sure you hop on. And,
you're on Instagram. Come join us.
Give us a like or subscription or follow.
Just, he's not an Instagrammer.
Or whatever you do there.
Just, if you're following us on Instagram, you're talking to me.
Okay, 21 questions. Are we ready to jump in? And I hope
ready.
everyone is having a great week out there. Again, to my fellow Americans, gobble, gobble.
And everyone else too. We love all.
They know what's up.
They do.
You know what? I wanted to do these in order because we do have so many questions and we're going to try to get through them on a regular pace. But I think I'm going to skip the first couple. I will go back to them. Question number one. I think this is a great place to start. How and why did we get started on YouTube?
Okay. I mean, this one I feel like we've told a few times.
Yeah.
So I started YouTube because I was selling vegetables out of our yard. And I was also processing meat rabbits, and I was selling meat and vegetables and eggs and homemade bread. And I had this crazy idea because we started growing so much food that I was going to start a membership where you could come once a week and you would get a big laundry basket full of whatever vegetables I was growing for $20 a week.
A CSA subscription.
I totally would have bought into that. That was a great deal for $20.
It was a ridiculous amount of food for $20.
It was like a laundry basket of food for all organic. And so I wanted people to feel a connection to their food. So I started showing the planting process, and I only meant for our 20 members to watch the videos. I never thought anybody else would ever watch them.
Yeah, me neither.
Yeah. So, and then I started selling breeding rabbits because we were doing meat rabbits and selling trios, 2 does and a buck, so people could make, produce their own meat on their property. That is, if you want to see the very first Good Simple Living video, go see how we got started on YouTube.
That's actually not what I meant, but the very first words on our YouTube channel are
is brown chicka wow wow. Very first thing that we said. Brown chicka wow wow. Oh, that is the wrong way, Jessica. Are we sure she's a girl? And it was how to breed rabbits. So if you can imagine what they were doing, and we decided to do the music behind that.
Yeah, that was our first video. We had zero intention of doing this full time. And even prior to that, Melissa started our Good Simple Living Facebook page. Mm-hmm. We had a discussion about this.
Facebook.
I don't even know how we came up with the name Good Simple Living.
I just came up with it.
You just came up with it on the whim. There was zero discussion or thought or like strategy or anything behind it.
Yep.
Got going and it just kind of took off from there. The short answer to that question is that it was a total accident.
Yeah. We call ourselves accidental YouTubers.
Still can't believe that this is where we're at. It's very weird what we do. Question number 2. And this is from the viewer's perspective, we're expecting a baby number 2. Any suggestions on the jump from baby number 1 to baby number 2? Brother will be just over 2 when the baby comes. What do you got?
All right. Well, I mean, it can't just be me answering. What about you?
No, we'll let you tackle it. I'll get around to mine.
Okay. I remember having a lot of fear around this as a mom. But you have a lot of mom guilt when you're going from 1 baby to 2 because your 1 baby is like your golden child, right? You've poured everything into this child. And so you feel this guilt about bringing another baby in, like this one's not going to be my baby anymore. Your firstborn is always special because that child is the one that has to grow up with you. You're growing up when you have your first kid.
The golden child.
You're changing so much
You're
becoming
learning.
a parent.
Yeah.
And so they're your ride or die. And they always are. I mean, our first child is 19 years old and she is like my ride or die. Like she's like my pal because she had to go through, grow up with me. And so I think that's really cool. But as far as adding a second one in, I remember feeling guilt and fear. And then when the baby came, she was just as excited as we were about the baby, that a lot of that goes away. And I think the most important thing is to try to keep your routines. Like, don't make life suddenly change for that baby. Don't make them get off the couch. Don't, like, you know, if you're reading to baby, you're playing with baby, make sure that the first one comes over and
on the floor
participates also, and give them a little bit of ownership over baby. You know, not too much.
Yeah, and this is kind of it's a weird thing. I think the biggest transition for us, at least in our experience, was going from 2 children to 3 because you were outnumbered. But the transition from 1 to 2 is a very unique one. It changes the dynamic of your family. And this is maybe a controversial statement to say, but I think it wasn't until we had 2 children that I felt like we had this cohesive like family unit. Prior to that, when we just had 1 child, it kind of felt as though it was just like you and I, and we have this kid.
It was like you serving this child.
Yeah.
in a weird way.
And then you become this collective group that comes together, and obviously it's your family. But it's, you know, children are a blessing. Congratulations to you on your second child. I wouldn't spend too much time like stressing about it. I
Don't
get that
let
it's
the mom guilt.
Yeah,
the mom guilt is lying to you. Your little one is going to be just fine and super excited. Just make it exciting. Something we always did with our kids is we took them to the mall to buy a gift for baby that they brought to the hospital, because especially if your first child is a girl, then they're very maternal. I feel like little girls are born maternal. There's some that aren't, but most women and girls they're born with a natural God-given maternal instinct. And so they're going to love baby. If it's a little boy, then give him like a little sense of ownership. You're the protector. You're going to be mama's big boy or dad's big boy. You're going to help me. And it's all about like, let them feel like you're the big sibling and you're going to help now. And they love that. They like to have that sense of responsibility.
Yeah, for sure. But congratulations to you. You're going to do great. And you know what? I love that we got questions from like younger people and younger families. And especially with regard to parenting in particular, because that is something that is so very important to us. But I get the advice that I always give like newer parents or people that are just younger than us is that you will find your way. Don't necessarily take the advice that you get from anybody like solely to heart. You'll put your own spin on things and you'll figure it out for yourself, and you will do what works for you ultimately.
And you'll go to bed feeling guilty every night
for the rest of your life.
That's what it is to be a mom.
This one is for me, so I'll answer this one. I'm looking to move out of Hawaii. Any suggestions? Hawaii government is too corrupt. Yeah, I share in your frustration. Hawaii has its own very unique culture. And if you have a desire to leave, I would definitely encourage you to do that. There are drawbacks, of course. You know, Hawaii is a very isolated place and you can't find that culture in many areas. So be mindful of where it is you move to. If that cultural aspect is something that is important to you, I'd consider, the West Coast or Vegas, obviously, where you have a lot of other people who have transitioned out of Hawaii. When I left, I went to Seattle, and it was a really difficult transition for me. For one, because I was young, and two, just because things were so different with the weather, especially like the weather really got to me the first few years. But eventually, you come around, you find that there's a lot of benefit to living in the mainland. You'll never replace living in Hawaii. Like that's, I've been out of Hawaii for the majority of my life at this point because I was so young when I left, and I still consider it home. But if you can make it work for yourself and you have a attitude of like, I'm gonna persevere here, you will prosper, because Hawaii is such a difficult place to make it financially. It's an epidemic there with people having to leave because the cost of living is just so incredibly high. So if you have a desire to do it, highly recommend it. Understand that, it will be most likely a somewhat difficult transition, but if you can make it work for yourself, it is awesome. Highly recommend.
I love it.
Any downsides to the Idaho move? I'm going to fling it back over to you.
Okay. Well, I think they mean like for our family in particular, not necessarily about North Idaho.
Correct.
So we did have a question about that too. So we'll try to answer both questions kind of at the same time. So for us in particular, downsides, maybe just further distance from family would be the only downside. It's a little bit more difficult to see grandparents.
That's what I was going to say too, yeah. The isolation of it.
I left Washington State, which was my home. I was born and raised in the Seattle area. I lived in Washington State pretty much my whole life, except for when I went to college in North Dakota. But I was so happy to get back to Washington after that. So leaving it was weird. I never really pictured myself leaving, but Idaho is still the Northwest. It's the inland Northwest, but I don't think so. I think it's been really good. I think it was a good decision. We felt called to move out here, and we felt like we were listening to the call of God when we came out here. And I think that it was positive and that it was God's design for our family to come out here, honestly.
Literally just being away from some of our family that are back in Washington State. Again, like Melissa said, it's just one state over. You can hop in the car and be there in a half a day to touch base with everyone. That'd be the only downside that I can come up with. To piggyback on that question, there is another question we got about just whether or not you would recommend moving to North Idaho.
I don't recommend everybody moving to North Idaho. North Idaho is a culture also. And if you're going to move to North Idaho, don't move and think you're going to change things, because people that were born and raised in Idaho are extremely proud to be from North Idaho in particular. Yeah. And they don't want it to change. So when people are coming from California or Washington or wherever they're coming from, it makes local people feel very nervous because they don't want to see the culture of North Idaho. It's a ranching community, farming community.
Not everywhere, but in our area.
Well, in North Idaho, yeah. Well, a lot of hunting.
Depends on where you go.
Outdoorsmen.
Coeur d'Alene's great if you want like restaurants, right, and you want a lot of activities, and you or your family are immersed in like extracurricular stuff.
But if you're going to move to the little towns.
Yeah, if you're going to move to a really like out in the boonies area like we have here, I would recommend it if you think like us, but it's most definitely not for everyone. We don't mind the long drives into town to go to the grocery store. We do miss having things like restaurants being readily available and close to us. But aside from that, if you can deal with the isolation, which for us falls into positive category.
The winter.
If you can deal with the winter, like currently outside right now, it is pitch black and it is 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Really, it's just evening, and it gets to the point that like at like 3:30 in the afternoon, it is dark and cold, and it makes for a really long winter. So if that's something that you have difficult time tolerating, then maybe North Idaho isn't for you. But
if you like Uber Eats, if you like to be able to pick up pizza on your way home from work, if you like to be able to shop at the grocery store every day and stuff, like North Idaho might not be for you because everything's far. If you have a lot of medical conditions, it can be tricky because we don't have specialists out here. So you're driving hours to specialists.
Yeah, if you like activities and services, then North Idaho probably is not the place for you. But if you're somebody who likes to be as self-sustainable as possible and you just kind of like to be left alone to build your own little world and oasis as we have here, I think North Idaho is a great spot. I think in the continental U.S., there are very few areas that allow for you to live the life that we're able to live here in North Idaho.
It's where introverts unite together in their own houses, separated.
Melissa, how's your heart doing with all the medical stuff? Sending love.
Okay, I think they mean like how are my emotions doing and not like my actual ticker.
Sure.
So the ticker's fine. I know, like I hope I'm reading this right. Levo can mess with that, but I have not been having any problems. It's better now than it was when I was first diagnosed. I was feeling extremely overwhelmed, and it scared me because things hit harder when you have young children. And with Micah, when I started finding out, it was like, I felt like every blood test I had found something new. And then it was like, well, you're deficient in this, so now we need to check for this. And now there's this, so now we need to check for this. And it felt like a snowball of problems. And then starting to hear the big C word and hearing like you have tumors and stuff like that was very overwhelming and scary. And even though it's the good cancer to have, if if it comes back that way, it is still very, very scary because I don't think there is any good.
I was going to say, that's a weird term. We keep getting a lot of that. Like, if you're going to have cancer, then this is the one.
This is a good one.
Ideally, you avoid cancer entirely.
Yeah.
I get where you're coming from.
It's just a scary word. And with the baby and everything, like I started instantly thinking about if I need surgery, I nurse, I can't be away from him at night, like all these different things that scare me. But mostly I just want to be present for my kids. I'm not somebody who gets my hair done or goes and works out at the gym. I'm not somebody who takes time for myself. So I don't want to take time for myself being sick, if that makes sense. I want to be present.
You're such a busybody. It's bizarre that that's what your stress revolves around.
I don't want to not be 100% for the kids.
I get it. Yeah, it's been a stressful time.
It's been stressful, but I'm feeling better now.
In waiting for your results, I've been trying not to bring any of this up.
Thanks.
With you. Partly because I'm trying to avoid it myself.
Yeah.
And I think I get more stressed out about you than I do myself with anything really.
I will say that I've been in prayer a lot, but I've also been extremely grateful, and I make sure that God knows that I'm extremely grateful that this is me and not the kids. Because if I was waiting on pathology results for one of our children, I would be a wreck. Like, I will take anything for them tenfold and be grateful for it. If for anyone whose children are sick, my heart just goes out to them so much. Like, there is nothing worse. Like, I would 100% rather it be me.
For sure. Yeah, health scares are a weird thing. It'll definitely cause you to take just stock of your life, and without your health, you have nothing.
Right, and it can happen so quick.
Yeah, unexpectedly.
I have faith that mine is going to be fine, and then I'm going to get on a regular thing, and this is just a little wake up call to be healthier. But things can change so quickly. One phone call, one diagnosis can just change the trajectory of anybody's lives. So it was just kind of a wake-up call.
It forces you to stop. It makes you think and do a lot of just consideration as to whether or not the way you've been doing things, at least for me, this is kind of where my brain's been at. Like, are we doing things correctly?
Yeah. How's Jeremy's heart? Should have been the question.
No, I'm fine. I'm stressed for you. And, like I said, there's nothing more valuable to me than time. It's not money.
No.
You only get a finite amount of time on this earth, and we don't ever want to face like our own mortality. So
it's the only thing that you can't buy and you can't get more of.
That's correct. Yeah. So that's where we're at. Here's a controversial one.
Ooh.
Did you guys decide to have another little one?
Oh, controversial in our own home.
It's been a constant discussion around here.
Look at you just starting problems. Jeremy.
You go ahead.
Yes, I've decided to have another one. You left it up to me, but unfortunately, it's not just up to me.
I'm admittedly more reluctant to actively pursue my voice is breaking.
For Jeremy.
I love our kids. I love our family, and I love where we're at. Having Micah has been a tremendous blessing. It's completely unexpected, obviously, with where we were in life. And you and Nevaeh keep pressuring me because I do have this reluctance.
Wall rock.
But you guys, what?
Wall rock.
Wall rock.
There's this. Okay, every time that Jeremy says we can't have another kid, we have 5. Our kids and mostly Nevaeh and Kaimani go, wall rock though. So there's this funny little meme of this cartoon child playing by himself, and he's throwing a rock and it bounces back, and then he throws a rock and it bounces back. And then it's all life as an only child. And so,
which I was.
And then this guy walks by and he's like, what are you doing? Playing wall rock. Sometimes it comes back to me. And he just throws it at the wall and it bounces back. And it's just this little kid. And they're like, that's going to be Micah. Because they're all going to be.
This is the guilt that I've been living with from my family.
They're all going to be adults. And of course, they're going to do their best. But I think our kids we raised them in such an 80s, 90s vibe of bikes and sidewalk chalk and shooting sparklers at one another. And they had a club and they met under the tree and they tasted dirt and they did weird stuff together.
A big part of my reluctance is that I was born and raised as an only child. This is how I came. They're like, oh, it's going to be horrible for him. I'm like, no, it's not. It'll just be his reality. And
do we have to go through this again? You went to school.
If we were to have another child, we'd be 43. And I just, you kind of reach a point in life where you start looking like my focus is not on hitting the reset button once again. I love my kids. And we just have such a massive age gap there. I don't want to say complicates things. It's just, it makes for a weird.
It did complicate things. It complicated things because now Mike has to play wall rock.
No, it's
if we had him 5 years ago, I wouldn't have been worried.
I'm just not there. And here's my thing: like we have 5 children. We have planned for one of our 5 children, and so if God bestows upon us child number 6, I will happily accept that and embrace it. But I'm not.
God doesn't just bestow. You have to make decisions.
Apparently, he does 4 out of 5. We're doing pretty well. I'm not actively in the mindset of currently pursuing child number 6. So that's where we're at.
Every time Jeremy says no, you just write wall rock and just remind him.
Guilt.
Poor little Micah and his little overalls just. As you guys know, over the past few weeks, I have completely revamped my diet and everything that I eat has to be super clean. And the more that I read labels of the health foods, the more I realize the deception of the food and the supplement industry. So I was so happy to learn that the Equip protein that I've been drinking over the past year really is the cleanest I could find. And it has none of the junk, the artificial sweeteners, or the fillers of all those popular whey proteins.
Yeah, the Equip Prime protein is an all-natural grass-fed beef protein that provides the nutrition of 4 ounces of beef, which is 20 grams of protein in every scoop. It's very clean tasting and comes in some great flavors, including vanilla, chocolate, peanut butter, salted caramel, chocolate mint, strawberry, and even cinnamon roll.
Yeah, adding the necessary protein that I need in my diet was definitely a challenge, but Equip has made it so much easier. The strawberry is my absolute go-to in my daily fruit smoothies, and I love adding a scoop of the vanilla or even the cinnamon roll with my Equip collagen into my steel-cut oatmeal. Not only does it add 20 extra grams of protein, but it also eliminates the need for any extra sweeteners.
Prime protein has been such a game changer for us. We know that you guys are going to love it too. Also, it makes an excellent Christmas gift for all the health nuts in your life or anybody who's trying to clean up their diet. Now is the absolute perfect time to stock up for the new year because Equip is giving our viewers an incredible offer for Black Friday or Cyber Monday. Just head to our link down in the description below or go to equipfoods.com/NWOS and use our promo code NWOS for 30% off your first order. Or better yet, you can get 40% off your first subscription. Moving on.
See what you did?
Well, what are our adventures to come? And are we going to be building that greenhouse, Mama?
So adventures to come. I think that we are going to be, we keep talking about, we're going between starting a new big build or keeping things simple and focusing on healthy living and really embracing where we live and diving in more into the hunting and growing food and all this. So there's two directions this could go, or we find a happy medium and we do both. So a lot of discussions going on in the Souza household.
You can only plan so much for your life. And we do still have like a number of projects and things that we want to do around here. The types of projects that you guys are accustomed to seeing from us. A greenhouse is most definitely on that list. We have an upcoming video that you guys will see this Saturday, which
I think it's so fun.
Yeah, it's a really cool project that
excited.
we got the majority of it completed this week. We still do want to do the greenhouse, but there are a number of ideas that we're kicking around, and this can maybe tie into another question that we got if I can find it.
I think there's going to be a lot of getting back to our roots though, because it's what we were missing during the build. And so if we start the other build, if we do that, it's going to continue to be a blend of the two because I don't want to get so busy building that we don't have time to garden and things again.
Yeah, life for us, we don't want life to fall to the wayside. A follow-up question maybe to that. Have you considered building another add-on addition, allowing Kai Money to have his own bedroom?
So we won't be adding on to the house because the whole backyard would be the place that we would do that. But that's our...
Plus it'd be like a bunch of little pods additions, you know? Like we could you could do it to where it wouldn't look funky, but we're not planning to add on to the house. But there are some potential living quarters for Kamani that we are pondering currently, one of which is this very room and living space that we are in currently.
Yeah, we've talked about gutting this entire place because we put this up really quickly and very...
haphazardly.
Yeah. I'm looking at the hanging cupboard like...
What?
No, I mean, it's okay.
Fine.
Yeah. So I think... one option would be to completely gut this place, put in an actual flushing toilet, a septic system, an HVAC system, and then just completely rebuild it from the studs. Or put in a new building.
Another new building with an additional living quarter that would be set up much better than this one currently is. Also, we don't know, but it's hard to make plans for the future because Nevaeh is 19 years old, should be turning 20 here in the upcoming year because that's how numbers work.
Yes.
And we don't know what she's going to be doing. We've tried to like suggest that she maybe consider building here on our property her own home, and that would open up a living space for Kamani and he can just backfill in there. So we'll see kind of what happens and where it goes. But there are a number of projects and things that we still want to get done to get things really, really reined in here. This is our dream situation, and my plan for the remainder of my life is to. I mean, this place has always been like a legacy property for me. It's going to ultimately be like our life's work on a property.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many things that we've tackled and we've taken on and built and established. And I just want to continue to pursue that and get to the point that we are old and elderly and we one day, pass away and pass all this along to our children and have it just be like our life's handiwork.
But we kind of talked about it on the Unashamed podcast where, Willie kind of created a neighborhood for his family. And ultimately that would be amazing. I don't know. I mean, that's just dream scenario, but to have all of our children in the vicinity and then have all of our grandkids, like that would just be amazing for me. We would definitely be doing that outdoor. I want to do an outdoor pizza oven space where it's like one of those pizza oven fireplace.
It's one of the many things we want to do.
With the roof over it, because I have this ultimate dream of all of our kids either coming back to visit or living here and the grandkids, and we have pizza night every Sunday.
Yeah, we always have these really like romantic ideas, and that's kind of where we come up with our project list is like, hey, we have these grand visions in our head and let's try to like make this come to fruition. So we are going to tackle this question. I'd like for you to pick up the book beside you there, because this next question we got is somewhat controversial in the sense that we keep getting it. How is Ludo? We see a lot of your book promotion, Melissa, but we haven't seen a lot of him lately. How is Ludo doing? Ludo's doing great, first of all. And everybody keeps asking us whether or not he is allowed in the house. He is allowed in the house. He sleeps in the house. He comes into the house, but he spends the overwhelming, like I wake up every day, I let the dog out. We have 20 plus acres for him to roam around here. He runs around, he hangs out. We spend a lot of our time outdoors. He's with us. He's doing chores with the kids. But he does come in the house, but he's not in the house full time. So and when it gets really, really cold, like this morning, we just got a question. When it's negative 10 degrees outside, he's pawing at the door, begging to be let in. He spends his time indoors.
Somebody said that?
Yeah, he'll be huddled up next to the wood stove. So to maybe quell some of the criticism, Ludo is allowed in the house.
Now, also, I am kind of a clean freak, and we do have a baby that's crawling. And so we live on a farm property. We have manure and chickens and sheep and horse manure, and it gets on his paws.
Composting toilet pile that's still breaking down.
That he thinks is really fun, and really mucky, dirty pond, and he gets in, so he has bacteria, like harmful bacteria on his paws. So Melissa, he does not get to run in and out. So when he goes out for the day, he's out until his paws are washed, dried, and he can come in. But he is not allowed to go in and out 20 times a day.
And he does not have free reign over the house. He has to stay near his bed in a small area, even when he sneaks at night, and I have to wake up at 2:00 in the morning to scold him because he's walking through our pantry looking for crumbs.
He knows how to open the pantry, and then
our dog opens
You've
doors.
never seen a mess till you've seen a golden retriever go through a
pantry.
This
golden retriever, I don't know if this is true for all golden retrievers, but he's highly intelligent, obviously, and he knows how to go around opening doors.
All doors.
Drives me
even
crazy.
Round handles. He can open round handles. Yeah.
It's insane.
He's a tricky boy.
But book promotion.
Okay, so speaking of Ludo, you guys know we wrote Made to be Ludo, partnered with Brave Books to do so. So the book is now shipping, guys. So we went live with this on Saturday. The book is shipping. So many of you guys have it. If you have it and you are an Instagrammer like me, please make a story and tag us on it, because I would love to share on our stories everyone that's getting their books. It's so fun to see them in your hands. And we're really proud of this book because we were able to raise so much money for CCC, and it's not over yet. I think we have about 10 days. So they are having a big Christmas party on December 6th, and we are presenting the big check that day. So we need to have all orders in by that day. And then if you're going to be sending in a check for CCC, make sure that we have it by that day. So make sure you mail it by probably the 1st of December. And then if you don't order by December 6th, we cannot guarantee that you'll have your book in time for Christmas. And we are almost sold out of the deluxe sets. I think we have 100 left. They're going so fast. And we're almost sold out of the plushies. And I don't know that Brave will be ordering anymore. So if you think you want one, get one. I literally had to order extra for myself because I want to make sure that our kids each get a plushie. Yeah. And I don't think they're going to make more. So definitely get your orders in. Also, Brave is having a really cool offer for Christmas right now. And they have this really awesome subscription service. Something that I think is really important that is kind of lost now with our generation is reading to your children. Mm-hmm. And when I was a little kid, my parents read to me every single night. And it's something I remember. Did your parents read to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's so important. And then they just did this poll, and it was 30% of people said they still read to their kids. And the other 70% no longer read to their children at night.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I think we need to bring back reading to our children. And kids are excited about books when they get a new book. And so they have this Book of the Month club. And our kids love their books. They're so great. And they partner with really interesting people like Bethany Hamilton and Riley Gaines,
Kirk Cameron,
the Duck Dynasty folks, and they're always partnering with new people. And then you get a new book every month, and it teaches a really good faith-based and freedom-based morals. So it's really cool because so many books have horrible morals in them nowadays, and Brave books have amazing morals. So it makes a great gift. If you sign your kid or your grandkid up for the Book of the Month Club, then you will get a new book every month. It's a gift that keeps on giving. It brings reading back to the family, and they're just really, really beautiful books. So if you want to join the subscription, they are going to be donating $20 for every person that joins to the Childhood Cancer Coalition, and you're going to get a free copy of Made to be Ludo. So it's super awesome. Just go to bravebooks.com/GSL if you want to join the Book of the Month Club.
Yeah, such a wholesome lineup that Brave has to offer. And I want to continue to thank so many of you out there for supporting Melissa. She keeps saying that we did this. Melissa did it. Let me brag on you for a second. We had an amazing week last week with the release of your book this past week, with the release of your book. And we got that awesome video that was sent to us. Big thanks to Riley Gaines, Kirk Cameron, Duck Dynasty guys. Everybody over at Brave Books. That was so awesome given the timing of it. And again, just continued thanks to all of you out there for supporting my awesome wife, who is doing so much to help so many people. Proud of you once again, Mom.
Thank you. It's still really surreal to me to see my name on a children's book.
Dream come true.
Dream come true.
All right, let's get back into tackling some of these questions. I'm going to put 3 consecutive questions that came in here from what I assume are younger people. You just set this aside for now.
Put it on the book thing.
Put it on the stand.
It looks pretty up there. Look at how pretty it is.
Official. All right. From younger people, and I'm going to direct this one to you. How do you stay sane with so many little kids? I have a 16-month-old and another one on the way.
Okay, again, I will say when you have one child and you hear somebody has 5 kids, I remember hearing someone had 3 kids and I was like, oh my God.
Why would you do that to yourself?
How? Well, to me, one kid is so overwhelming because you put everything into that kid.
Yeah, and it's new.
And then I couldn't picture putting that much effort times 3 or 4 or 5. So I would look at us like crazy people or pioneer people or, like it's something weird. Like I always thought people with a bunch of kids were odd. Those weird homeschool folks. Oh no, that's us. We've become that. So I will say that it happens gradually. And so you don't really notice. Each child is a change, but after 3, it's all the same. After 3, it's just kind of, I used to say after 3, it's all just crazy.
Okay, but specifically, what do you do to stay sane?
You just have to not get riled up. So my grandmother gave me wonderful advice. She lived to be 100 years old. She raised 5 children. And I was talking to her one time on the phone, and Kaimani, I had 2 at the time, dumped out all the cereal. And I was like, oh no, Kaimani. And I started just panicking on the phone. And she's like, Melissa, in her calm grandma voice. And she's like, if it takes less than 10 minutes to clean up, it's not worth getting upset about. And I was like, and I've always kind of remembered that. So like whenever the kids have made a big mess or they drew up with lipstick on something, I'm like, can I clean this up in 10 minutes? Yeah, I can. Like, just don't get riled. You can allow yourself to get riled, and you can allow yourself for the blood pressure to go up and you just lose it, or you can just remain calm. With Micah, I haven't gotten riled.
Yeah, it's been different with him.
Yeah, like my mom was over when he was a baby and he was fussing, and I was just like, la la la, like change it. And she's like, you're saying so calm. And I'm like, yeah, I've made the decision to not get riled.
We treasure it. Not once have I grown frustrated with anything it is that he's had, like that he's done thus far.
Because he's the perfect baby.
First of all, your grandma rocks. Great advice.
I know.
Awesome
I miss her so much. It's been 1 year since we lost grandma. Right
Melissa's
after
grandma
Thanksgiving.
Was awesome. Is just one of those people that you really cherish tremendously. And my answer to this would be, how do you stay sane? Well, you don't always stay sane. Sometimes you lose it. Sometimes you fly off the handle. And I've been guilty of that. Like just like on a damn near daily basis.
He doesn't. He's very calm.
No, but you know what? Like life can be stressful, kids can be stressful, but there comes a point in time, and I think this is where we're both at with Micah specifically, is that you come to treasure it because you really begin to realize that it just goes so incredibly quickly, and you don't ever want to make the impact that the thing that your children remember about you, that you were always just like this stress ball who freaks out over every little thing.
Why was Dad always in such a bad mood?
Have I been that person? You bet your life I have on a regular basis. But I think it's okay to allow yourself a little bit of grace along the way too, because frustration is a real thing. And, you know, I was babysitting when I was working graveyard as a very young police officer. We had Nevaeh, and I think you went to the store or something. So I was watching her in the middle of the day. And I was on the couch watching her. TV was on, and because I was working graveyard at this time, I was really tired. I don't think she's
gonna like you sharing this story.
I fell asleep, and I woke up.
Good babysitter.
Seconds later, I don't want to say minutes later, to the smell of caca throughout the room, because she had managed to somehow take her poopy diaper off and spread it all over the living room.
Everywhere.
Now, was there a little bit?
You know what he did? He called me at the grocery store and told me to hurry.
You came home right after. But like in moments like that, is it stressful? For sure. Was it my fault? Absolutely. But
was he ever trusted again? No.
Come on, that's not true. No, it's just I was really tired. But you know, you're gonna have moments like that, and so I think it's okay to allow yourself a little bit of grace to be like, this is horrible. In the moment, I got to clean poop up off the walls and in the carpet and everywhere, and then clean my kid up, and you know it's gonna happen. So
it's a mindset.
It's a mindset, for sure.
To not go crazy is a mindset. You can either feel overwhelmed or victimized by motherhood. And I think that a lot of moms feel, and dads, but I think like a lot of moms, society tells you you're a victim. Society says motherhood happened to you. Yeah. This is happening to you. Motherhood is a blessing. It is the highest calling. And in the most stressful times, those are the moments, literally the day-to-day little stressful things of trying to get dinner while you have a toddler wrapped around one foot and they're for some reason hanging on and you're dragging them. I mean, I have done that. I have a baby on a hip. I'm dragging a toddler. Someone's screaming over here and somebody tried to pour their own milk and the whole gallon went everywhere. Those are the moments that you look back at when you are my grandma and you go like, you're going to miss all of that. It's
exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. It's the music of your life. It is the time when you're alive and you're young and your family's young and everybody's safe under one roof. When your kids are all under your roof and you're in control, that is the best time.
This has been the biggest lesson for us. And it's the reason I'm so grateful we had Micah, is that it, like you said, it's those very moments that you will be stressed out about in the moment that you will one day look back upon. Mm-hmm. And we can say this now because we have this set of older children and a baby. And this is why we handle Micah's situation so differently. It will be those moments that you reflect upon later in life that you will come to miss. Mark my words. It's making me... I'm getting all weepy-eyed. Like, you will miss those moments. And I know that maybe sounds crazy to say, but just know that and remind yourself of that when you are feeling this stress.
I have another word of advice for parents and grandparents, which I'm noticing this is something new in society. These stupid pieces of crud will ruin your grandparent experience and your parent experience, because when you are scrolling on Reels or you are reading emails or you are checking on your high school friends from Facebook that you don't even like or wouldn't even consider thinking about if you didn't have a phone, and your grandkid or your child is talking to you, your agitation level goes up. Do you know what I mean?
No, it absolutely does.
Yeah. So these are evil because they separate you from
what actually matters.
Yeah, and from staying calm. Because when your attention is on this and a child is asking you a question, your anxiety will instantly go up. Yep. And the correct answer is set your phone down, give them your full attention. But that's not often what we do. What? Oh my gosh. You know, or their playing is agitating you because you're sucked into some stupid thing that doesn't matter.
Or you're missing something.
Yeah, or you're missing something amazing. Yeah. And I think that going like the bedtime routine, I just saw somebody complaining about bedtime routine and like how chaotic and awful it is. And it's so much better if you put this away. If you take your phone and you put it in a drawer or you just put it away, do not take it upstairs when you're putting your kids to bed. When you're going to bathe them, you're going to read them a brave book. You're going to say prayers with them. If you don't have your phone by you and you don't have, because we're so addicted to this. You know, if it's not even around, you can focus on that. It not only goes quicker and smoother, your child has your full attention. They're more likely to stay in bed because they got your full attention and they felt loved. But your anxiety and your blood pressure will be so much lower if you put the dang phones down.
Put it away. I'm turning the Wi-Fi off.
There we go.
I'm telling you. Another young person question. And let me thank all these young people for chiming in. I feel
so excited about it.
I feel like the wise old guy. And we always think that we don't have younger people that watch us. But in recent weeks, there have been so many people that have reached out to us that are significantly younger than us. I'm honored to receive these questions. Like truly.
Yeah, like somebody wrote the other day that they felt like one lady said she was from Denmark and that I'm her American mom. And I was so honored. And then someone else was like, dear internet mom. And I was like, yeah, internet mom.
That's our thing. See, you're wondering what your thing was. That's your thing.
Just be the internet's mom.
Next question. What advice do you have for young couples? My husband and I are 22 years old and we've been together for 7 years. What advice do you have for these young folks?
Oh, you guys got married young. I like it. I like it. Okay. Marriage advice. So, I mean, we kind of did things backwards. So like with our kids, we're always like, don't do things like we did because we made it a little more challenging by not getting, it sounds like these people did it right. So you're already off to a great start. Congratulations. Yeah, I would say take a little bit of time, enjoy one another, not too much time, and start having them babies.
Till you get 5 kids.
Oh yes, don't take too much time. You want to enjoy your children when they're young, but I mean, I think it's good to take a year or so to settle into married life. And then once you have kids, especially for women, I'm speaking as a woman, so you can speak as a man after this, but like as a woman, when you have a baby, all your focus shifts to the baby and protecting them, making sure that they're snugly at night, especially if you're co-sleeping. Make sure that you don't fall into that roommate stage because that can happen very easily. And we just had a conversation about that a couple days ago of like, I'm going to bed so much earlier with the baby. And he's like, well, I don't want to go to bed at 9 o'clock. And I'm like, but then I fall asleep. And then, now you're in the roommate phase. And the roommate phase can last for a year or 2 if you let it. So you have to be intentional about making sure that your relationship is good and healthy. I think going on dates is great. I used to think it sounded stupid when I was young. And people were like, you need to go on dates. And we're like, we're fine. It is so important to go on dates as married couples.
Yeah, I agree.
Always date your spouse.
To reiterate, I think you're off to a great start. It sounds like you've been together since you were teenagers. You're 22. You're married. Much like Melissa mentioned, I think it's important to make time for yourself. And then from like a man's perspective, I think treating your woman with like a true genuine partner. There have been a lot of like personalities that I've seen online, especially of like conservative men in particular, who try to encourage other men to like sort of treat their women as being subservient in some way. This is a partnership. It's 50-50. We are to be equally yoked and we are a united front. And I think that's really important on all things when it comes to parenting, when it comes to your dreams, goals, and aspirations. I think there needs to be a lot of open discussion, open dialogue, and, like truly, genuinely fair dialogue. Even if it's a disagreement, I think it's important to voice those disagreements and hash it out and find compromise and just always prioritize your relationship and your marriage and make sure that none of that is falling to the wayside because of your own selfish wants, needs, and desires. So I guess that would be my advice. And then as far as like kids go, we don't know everything when it comes to being parents or even being husband and wife. But I think it's so very important to put family first and to always make sure that the tip of the spear when it comes to putting family first is making sure that your marriage is good. It's in a good place, and that kind of like Melissa said, you're always, because the older you get, and we've experienced this, is that it does require more effort. You can't allow for things to just casually fall to the wayside, which can happen over time. When you fall into a routine, that love, affection, and genuine care, and enthusiasm that you have for one another.
Jeremy loves enthusiasm.
I sure do. 5 children. That can begin to, I don't want to say wane, but just kind of dull over time.
Yeah, you start to not see one another because you're so close that they become almost like you're almost an extension of me. So it's like, it's easy for me to just be like, eh.
Like I said, united front. Just make sure that you are keeping tabs on your relationship. And
we have a couple rules to marriage though also, which I think they want some more specific. So one thing is if you're discussing whether or not to do something or to buy something or to pursue something, both people have to agree. Yeah. So there's a lot of people might disagree with this, but for us, if one person said no, the answer was no. Yeah. It wasn't if one person said yes and one person said no, but the guy who said yes was the guy that then we went with that. if you said no, it was no. If I said no, it was no, which is why I don't have a sixth baby.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of what I mean with the whole like I don't enjoy seeing men preach to other men that like, no, you are the king of your household,
and your wife has to just follow your
you
lead.
decide,
on
you choose, and your woman is along for the ride. Like I'm not with that at all. Sorry.
Yeah. And then another thing that will break marriages apart is money. So if you are a stay-at-home wife, please be very, very respectful of spending and things. Not that you can't spend, but something that makes men feel very used and abused from what I've seen is not in our own marriage, but if you're working all the time and the woman is just spending constantly, it can make the man feel less appreciated going to work every day, and then you're just spending the money, and then it's like this endless cycle of I have to work more and more and more.
Yeah, that's where that communication comes in the play, though.
Yeah,
like, it's just there can't be like a disproportionate. Like I said, you have to be equally yoked. You have to both be moving in the same direction. Otherwise, I think it can make for a lot of just difficulties, and it's most definitely a reason that so many marriages fall apart.
And your wife comes first, and your husband comes first when it comes to your immediate family, or, what was your immediate family, your parents. But at the same time, husbands and wives, make sure that you're being very respectful of your in-laws. I think that's very important to like honor and respect your in-laws, even if they're being difficult. I was blessed with a really great father-in-law. So he's not a difficult person to get along with. Like I get along fine with him.
And I adore your parents.
But yeah, exactly. Yeah. But if you do happen to have a difficult mother-in-law or a difficult father-in-law, be respectful of them and don't pin your spouse against their parents or make them choose.
Yeah.
Do everything you can to just get along and be respectful of your in-laws. They raised your spouse to be the person that you love, and there's a level of respect that's owed there, because that breaks a lot of family units apart too. And I think it's so important to be super respectful of your in-laws.
It's good advice, Mama. Sound advice. Last young person question here, at least in this trio that I offered up. How do I balance my time for faith, my husband, and my business? And this is coming from a 20-something-year-old viewer.
Ooh, okay. So God first, always. Faith is something, when it comes to with your husband, I think it's really great if you can do that together, because you want to grow together in your faith, and you want your husband to be the faith leader of your family. And at least I want you to be the faith leader of our family. And so I think family Bible studies are really great. I think couple Bible studies are really great. And there's actually some really cool study Bibles that I just saw coming out for the holiday season. Yeah. And I was thinking that I might get our whole family them. And I would love our family to start doing more Bible studies, because it's one of those things that we start and then we don't follow through. We're not really good about following through.
I was going to say, it's really challenging. I think it's a great question, and it's definitely something that we have kind of grappled with. Mm-hmm. And I feel guilty. I can't offer up the solution to your question, because it's something that I struggle with myself, admittedly. I wish I did have more time.
It's the same thing. It's putting these down, turning off the TV, and then prioritizing your faith.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's
together as a couple.
It's your priorities. It's how you do things. And there's definitely been like a disproportionate amount of time that we devote to things that we shouldn't, whether it be like tinkering for one, or family, or really for us. And you guys, if you've been watching a while, know this. Like we have struggled with being content in the amount of output that we are able to produce for ourselves. And when you take on any kind of entrepreneurial venture, it's such an easy trap to fall into. You always feel like you can be doing more and you should be doing more, and you do end up so oftentimes doing more when you maybe should hit pause, revisit whatever task it is that you were tackling, and make sure that your priorities are straight, whether it be to your family, to your faith. And that's something that I've been guilty of, that we've been guilty of. And this is something that we do struggle with, admittedly, like I said. So great question. I don't have the solution, but I think it's just good to check in with yourself every once in a while, see where you're at, and maybe rearrange some of the things that you are prioritizing in your life.
Owning your own business is a
trap.
It's really hard. So if you own your own business, which it sounds like you do, because you said your business, then I think the best thing is to have a schedule with your business. Just treat it like another job and know when to turn it off. Otherwise, you will work 7 days a week. You will work 12-hour days, because when you're in control, you can always do more and you can always make more. And that is its own kind of trap. It's freedom, but it's also a trap in a weird way. Like you build a prison around yourself. You live self-inflict.
You live with a constant fear that if you're not doing enough, like you're not going to make it. And that's the fear that we live with. It's really hard to strike a balance, and contentment is something that is really tough for us to find and grasp in our lives.
I would say put faith first. Include your husband in your faith. Be intentional about having time for Bible study, and really, really consider having a Sabbath. Having a day where you put the phones away. I think that's such a beautiful practice.
We've been talking a lot about that for the upcoming year. Going back to your book, what was your favorite part of writing this book? And also, would you ever write a memoir?
Oh gosh, I don't think I'm worthy of a memoir. I'm just not, like I know I'm not worthy of a memoir. Like
I'm a normal, average person, just like you are. The end.
Yeah, so probably not on the memoir. I just don't feel that important at all, not even close. I would consider writing another book. I actually have a book that I really want to write that I feel is I'm not one of those people that is like, oh, God gave me this dream. And like, but for real, God gave me this dream. Before I started writing Made to Be Ludo, I had this crazy, vivid dream of this book that I'm supposed to write. And so I think that's going to be the next book.
Are you going to get into detail about that right now?
No. Because I don't want to like say it. What if someone steals my God book?
I was going to caution you against doing that.
Yeah.
But just to reiterate, like this book has been incredibly time consuming for Melissa. And I just want to applaud you once again because you're not going to do it yourself.
Don't.
I had no idea going into it that it was going to require this much work.
Yeah, it was a learning experience.
I didn't know 20 pages. Like, oh, you can just bang that out in like a week or two.
I was thinking, you write it, you pick an artist, they send you the drawings, you say, yeah, it's cute, and you move on. But yeah, there's so much more to it and so many meetings and everything. It's been really fun. I think like Mondays, I have a Zoom meeting with all my friends over at Brave Books. They've literally become my friends. They're like lifelong friends to me now. And so it's been so great. And it's been a good experience. It really has. I want to do it again. I will probably take a little bit of a break because Micah's small and I got the Hashimoto. I need to just focus on, I think, taking a little bit of downtime, but I'm excited. I'm definitely going to write my book.
Well, hello there, everyone. We want to take this second opportunity to tell you that Angel Studios is having their biggest sale of the year, and it's one that you definitely don't want to miss.
Yeah, this is a deal so good that it pays for itself. Plus, Angel has so much amazing content available to stream right now, from movies like The Last Rodeo, Green and Gold, and The Sound of Freedom, to incredible and safe children's content like The King of Kings or the brand new season of The Tuttle Twins.
Yeah, and if you're looking forward to seeing David in theaters on December 19th, you can actually start early by streaming Young David right now on Angel. It's an excellent 5-part animated prequel to the film, and it's so good, truly very well done.
Yeah, they really did do an excellent job with that. And you guys know that we are very careful about what we bring into our home. Angel has been such an incredible resource for family-safe entertainment for all of us. And the best part is they offer faith-inspiring entertainment that is actually good.
Yeah, also, this is Angel's lowest price of the year, so it's the perfect time to sign up or even gift a subscription to a family member that you know will love it. Just go to angel.com/NWOS and take advantage of their biggest sale of the year and claim your free tickets to go see David in theaters. We have a handful of questions left. Let's try to wrap this up here. Do we have any plans to do rabbits again? Meet rabbits?
We still have rabbits. They're Eli's rabbits. He's very attached to them. He does not want us to eat them. So we just have 2 does and a buck, and that's it. And I don't know that we will ever eat rabbits again unless we absolutely have to, because he's just so attached to them.
We have, I don't even want to say how many rabbits we've processed and raised and processed
Probably
over the years.
Hundreds.
Multiple hundreds. And we aren't actively doing it currently. We still have our rabbits out there. They're actually just outside.
We did it once here.
No, we've done it more than once here.
Okay, we've done it twice here.
No, more than that.
Okay, we've done it.
I don't know.
We've
done it a few times.
We've done it a few times here. Eli had taken over the rabbits for the last processing, and he had named them, and he knew which ones were in the pan. And it was just, he had a really tragic dinner, and we just haven't done it since. I'm not one of those people that's like, buck up, it's fine, it's where your food comes from. He put so much care and effort into caring for them, and he really cares for them, and he has such a tender heart. I don't want to turn him into a vegan.
So yeah, we still have them. We will continue. We'll do it again at some point, but right now we're not actively doing it. Here's a good question. One that we've gotten before. Does Nevaeh pay rent? And if not, will she?
Nevaeh does pay rent, not very much. She pays just basically her utility bills and a little bit more. We've been putting it into a separate account because
we can say this because she doesn't watch the podcast. Yes, she does pay rent. It is not a massive amount. It's cheaper than she'd find in town, but it is a 3-digit number. It's actually $250 a month. There, I'll just tell you. She pays $250 a month.
That's a banging deal for
We're
that
not looking
place.
to make money off of our daughter as far as rental income goes, clearly. So we're actually squirreling all of that aside. And again, I can say this because she doesn't watch the podcast. So once she decides that she wants to move out, she will have a nice little bump in revenue at her disposal to use for whatever she might need at the time.
We will give it back to her. She just doesn't know that.
Right.
But then our other kids will know that moving forward.
They don't watch the podcast, so I don't think it matters.
No, but I mean, what if she tells them? They're going to give it back to you.
We have to swear her to secrecy.
Okay.
What is a hilarious off-camera moment that you wish you had been rolling on for peak content?
And we have done we've had some bloopers.
450 or so videos, Mama.
I will say mostly stuff around the horses. So we don't film a lot with the horses because it's difficult, and Lexon's afraid of the tripod and the camera turning on. So when the camera chimes, he that's Lexon for you.
Yeah.
Lexon has, this was not hilarious, but he broke my cousin's back and ribs by bucking him off. I don't have that on camera. His wife does. And she made t-shirts. She did.
I got run over by Lexon. That was one. I was going to say the thing.
You got pummeled by Lexon, yeah.
With all of these videos that we've made, there's nothing like specific that stands out. But I would say, number one, a lot of the conversations that we're having, which some of them are on camera, you guys just don't know what we're talking about. But with you guys know we're...
I literally go mute conversation to remind myself in editing.
No, you guys know we're weirdos. If you've watched the podcast, you know we're weirdos. So we have really odd conversations when it's just us and we're not like really super conscious of the cameras. And there have been countless, some of our best conversations happen while we're making a video and the camera is rolling. And the way it comes across in videos is like, it's a montage and there's music playing and you see us laughing and giggling and chuckling to ourselves.
Really, we're like, there could be aliens.
If you knew what we were saying, you'd be like, these people are freaking weird.
Yeah.
So there was that. Also me getting run over by Lexon, which again, made the video, but basically I had the camera and I was hunched down low to the ground to make things look like
so bad,
like an awesome, like this cool perspective shot.
It was a cool
Melissa's
shot.
like, hey, we coordinated this whole thing. Like, it's gonna be an epic shot. You're gonna ride right by me, and I'm gonna be at ground level with the camera. And so I'm like, hey, go, prompt her. She starts going with Lexon. And then at the very last second, as I hear them approaching, she shouts out, move! Like, move, watch out. And so I ball up, and Lexon runs me over. Literally.
Full gallop. It was so bad.
And he knocked me literally like 6,
I
8
thought you were
feet
dead
on the ground. And I literally rolled. While holding the camera.
And Lexon didn't do it to be mean. Like, he didn't see him because we were running towards the sun to get like the silhouette sight or the silhouette shot. And horses don't see forward. They see out the side, and he was right in front of him and the sun was also shining on him, because when Lexon ran you over, he like stopped and he turned around to check on you.
No, so we actually got the shot, and I'll see if I can't find it and I'll put it up.
It's on the time lapse
on screen. Is it on the time lapse? And it ended up being like a great shot.
It's like this silhouette where I'm galloping on him and then like I spin around and I look like this.
That's Melissa spinning around to check on me on the ground.
Yeah.
But I somehow, because
the horse like spins around in slow motion and it like the dust comes up. It's a beautiful shot.
The camera was on a tripod, so I don't think I was holding the camera, but the shot turned out great. Mm-hmm. And it was really beautiful. But if you knew the reality of it, that's actually Melissa turning around to check on me because I'm like motionless on the ground after being run over by the dang horse. So
but it came really cool because you had it in S and Q. He had it in slow motion. So I like ripped the reins and it's all whap. And then I like spin my hair and like, it's such a cool shot.
Stuff like that. It's an interesting thing that we do and that so many do now with making these videos. It's a really interesting process, and
maybe don't do that.
Our videos have come a long way, and I really enjoyed the experience for the most part because it's given us something to try to improve upon. It's just, it's become like a hobby. It really has. Like, we enjoy taking the best video that we are capable of taking ourselves. We're not like professionals. We don't even know how to operate our dang cameras, if I'm being totally honest with you.
I'll put them on auto.
Which is why all our settings are auto. But I've really enjoyed it. And there have been so many like classic moments. And the best part of it is that we are able to capture all of these memories and actually have them. They're like really highly produced, highly edited, highly polished home videos.
Yeah, like a lot of the Christmas experience, the birthday parties, things like that we just probably wouldn't have otherwise, but we wouldn't know how to find them.
The kids watch our older videos all the time.
Our family videos.
And they're literally our home movies. And you guys get to share in that with us, which is such a cool thing.
Yeah.
What homeschool curriculum do we use? I'm just starting kindergarten with my child, and I'd love to know.
I have gone through so many different curriculums, and what I'm realizing, this is so controversial to say, What I'm realizing is no curriculum's perfect, and I actually hate most of them. So I think
So there you go.
I just do. So what I'm realizing is when you homeschool, you really get to know your kids and you really start talking to them on, are you going to go to college? What do you want to do? Do you want to be an engineer? Do we need to really focus on all this math and science? Or do you want to be a film editor and we should be focusing more in this area over here? And so you get to curtail your curriculum around your child's interests. And with Eli, he has totally different interests annually. So his has changed a lot. But this year, I actually threw the curriculum out the window. So for kindergarten, I think a really good place to start is, I'm not even kidding, the Brain Quest workbooks that you get from Costco, or you can get them on Amazon. They are $10. You can get the preschool kindergarten split one. That's a great place to start for kindergarten.
We've used those for years.
And then by the K through 1. And that's your kindergarten curriculum, that and Hooked on Phonics. Because Hooked on Phonics worked for me. Hooked on Phonics is so good for a reading program. There's Teach Your Child to Read.
Yeah.
Tried that one. Did not teach my children to read. There's all kinds of different reading curriculums. I have tried all of them. Hooked on Phonics is great. They have a whole 4-part system with the easy readers and the books and everything. Great. Read to your children a lot. Read to them for kindergarten.
Starting from a really young age.
And don't freak out if your child isn't reading in kindergarten, because a lot of kids, especially boys, are not ready to read when they're 5 or 6 years old.
Kaimani struggled.
Kaimani did not
Eli
read till he
struggled.
was 8. And then when I had Eli and he was struggling because he was actually really dyslexic,
He read.
I waited
He
till
just
8.
didn't read like fluently. Like, oh, here's a book, read it. It wasn't
Right.
like that, but he could read.
But Nevaeh could read at 4. So every kid is different. Don't hold your child to the same standards, because that's the beauty of homeschool.
And then come around, like fast forward, like Kaimani has a beautiful mind, incredibly intelligent.
Best reader and writer that we have.
Yeah, so don't standardize everything.
Yes.
Like, I guess I would say look to supplement. Like, there's no, like Melissa mentioned, hasn't been one like set curriculum that has worked for us. We we pick and choose from different curriculums, and then we try to supplement as much as we possibly can.
Yeah.
So whether it be like online videos, there's been a lot of that, or whether it just be real life experience, we try to incorporate that into the education as well.
Learn about something and then go there.
Yeah, kind of like I said. Yes, yeah, that's huge. Like kids, it's so much more impactful for a child to experience something in real life. And we've taken family road trips. We're like, hey, let's not learn about Mount Rushmore. Let's actually drive to Mount Rushmore and listen to the audio stuff that they have there, and like read the plaques and all the information and see it in person.
Museums are great.
Bring it to life. It's so much more impactful for
The Cody, Wyoming Museum was so amazing.
Awesome.
It was so cool. I mean, there's just so many things. Going to Pearl Harbor, and then having them actually feel that, and watching the videos on that's so much more impactful. But don't freak out if your kids are not at the same standard that they're supposed to be and everything. They are going to catch up. They're going to learn it. You know your kid the best. I think the Brain Quest is a really great place to start. We've done a lot of life pack stuff. They're really great for math and language arts, but pretty much beyond that, I don't know. Science and history, I think, is better if you just piece it together, and you'll figure it out as you go. And what you start with isn't what you're going to end up ending with. Different stuff works for different kids. That's kind of my advice: is just wing it.
hodgepodge it.
Yeah. Like follow what your kids are capable of, and don't force stuff. And then also, once you get into high school, which I know you're really far from this, but for other people, once you get into high school, it starts to get really convoluted in math and science. And you have to really start asking yourself, or asking your child, do you plan to go to university? Seriously, like, I need to know now, because then you need to know all of this stuff. But if you're not, then we're going to focus on basics more, because I think past pre-algebra, it just becomes unnecessary if you're not going to go be an engineer, and you're just spending hours and hours and hours torturing your children with calculus. They're never going to use it. They're not going to remember it. And so many kids that have graduated and passed calculus can't do basic multiplication or name the 50 states on a map.
Oh my gosh.
So it is so much more. Like, I literally threw the curriculum out this year. We are doing countries of the world. We are doing state capitals, labeling the state capitals because they've got their states down. We went back. I asked Kaimani, what from the eighth grade math, what did you forget? And he's like, you know what? I kind of forgot. And he's supposed to be a sophomore. And he's like, I kind of forgot the division, the oh my gosh, I have brain fog right now.
Long division, calculus,
long division,
algebra, long division.
He was like, yeah, I kind of forgot the whole method of long division. I said, okay, let's just spend a week doing long division. Yeah.
Seriously?
And we spent 2 days doing it. And he's like, oh yeah.
Little refresher.
Yeah, these little refreshers that you have the grace and you have the freedom to go back and nail. And Kira was like, I'm struggling with my nines tables. I'm like, all right, this week we're throwing everything out and we're working on that.
Yeah, I think our experience also has just been that you figure out what your kids are really into and you try to foster that as much as you can. Like part of the reason Eli currently, he's had so many phases and things that he gets like really intensely into things.
Really into
right
stuff.
Now he's into architecture. This has been his latest
stadium
thing.
Architecture.
Very specific architecture, stadium architecture. So we have been doing as much digging as we can to like find information on that to try to, like build this enthusiasm with it. If there's something that your kids express an interest in, feed into it. Don't hesitate and be like, well, that falls outside of like a normal curriculum. Like why are we doing that to our children?
If he went to public school, he could not spend 4 hours a day studying stadium architecture.
Yeah, I mean, he can tell you the history, how it's built, the different architectural
Every
companies
stadium,
that are out there. It's amazing.
College and NFL that have ever been built, what year they were built, what their capacity is. He can tell you the capacity of any stadium past or present.
And we think professionally too, like, hey, okay, so let's say you want to pursue this professionally. What are the steps to get from point A to point B? Maybe you do have to go to college. And if so, okay, then we will we'll work in that direction.
Well, I asked him, I was like, do you think you want to be an architect or an engineer or something? And he was like, I'll be into something else next year.
Yeah, probably.
I was like, okay. So
he'll have this very impressive back catalog of random information that he'll have
we'll drive all over the country showing him different stadiums like we did with rodeo.
Yeah.
And, taking him to these rodeos. And then he's like, okay,
I'm good.
And then he just moved on. Now we're doing stadiums. So I was like,
all right, there's only a couple of questions left. Let's try to wrap these up. This one's an important one, and this is going to be for you. I was just diagnosed with Hashimoto's. I'm feeling very tired. What can I do to start healing now?
Okay, well, we're in this together, Hashimoto's buddies. So it's very frustrating to get any kind of new diagnosis of any disease or ailment and then wait for tests, because in our medical system, you wait a long time for tests and results. Ask us how we know. And I think the best thing you can do to start healing immediately is actually ChatGPT has been an amazing resource for Nevaeh and I. We were able to take all of our blood tests and plug them into ChatGPT, and it reads them so much better and more thoroughly than any doctor that we've talked to. They'll be like, you're normal. But if you put it in a ChatGPT and they know your age and everything like that, it will be like, well, you fall in the normal range. For your age, this is concerning. And you might want to supplement with selenium and magnesium. And this shows that you might actually be vitamin D deficient. And you also need... So ChatGPT has been great. But I think the number one thing you can do to alleviate fear and anxiety, for me, anxiety action is what solves my anxiety. I have to get to work. I have to start fixing it now in order to alleviate anxiety.
You're kind of unique in that regard, though.
I think that that's more of a female thing.
Okay.
Maybe.
We'll go with it.
I think women feel a lot of anxiety and we want to fix things. We're fixers. At least mothers. Mothers are fixers because we're supposed to fix everything for everyone and we want to fix everything.
Sure.
And so I think that the number one thing that you can do to alleviate stress is to change your diet, because at least it's something you have control over that you can change immediately. So for me, going gluten-free was the number one thing that you need to do. You have to go gluten-free if you have Hashimoto's. You just have to. And the doctors will tell you, no, you don't need to. Don't worry about it. I literally had a doctor tell me, not the one that I see here in town. I love him. He's great. But I had another specialist tell me, eat your cinnamon rolls and take your medicine, which is to me the worst advice.
He literally rolled his eyes and he told Melissa, you're going to be on medication for the rest of your life.
And I was like, hold my beer that I can't drink. Hold this. You might as well drink it because I'm not drinking. I was just like, no, that's not going to be my story. That's not my story. I'm going to get to the bottom of this at the cellular level, and I'm going to fix this. So for Hashimoto's, my suggestion would be get on selenium, get on magnesium, and black cumin seed oil. Those are the three things that I started taking immediately. And then go gluten-free, dairy-free, soy-free. And if you can, cut out processed foods and sugars, do it. I started feeling so much better within a couple weeks. Brain fog was lifting. I'm a little tired right now, but it's just because it's late. But my skin cleared up. so many things started changing when I cleaned up my diet. It's something that you can control right now. And then I'm doing red light therapy as well. So Jeremy laughs at me.
Melissa's glowing literally every night. Glowing.
Every night I have my red light therapy on, and
You feel like that's making a difference though, yeah?
I do. So with my thyroid nodules, I had 3. I had a 3 centimeter one, a 4.5 centimeter one, and a 6 centimeter one. When I went in for the biopsy, the 3 centimeter one was no longer even visible. And this is after 4 weeks of diet change, a very low level of levo, which I'm hoping to get off of, red light therapy.
I was going to say, we can't attribute that to any one thing.
I don't know what it is because I did so many things.
All of this collectively made a difference.
Yep. The smallest one was pretty much gone. That's why he was like, well, we're not biopsying that because I don't even see it. The other one had shrunk the other small one had shrunk by 50%. And then the large one that was 6 centimeters was down to 4 centimeters. So he was like, wow, these really shrunk in 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And so my hope through supplements, diet change, a little less stress and my red light therapy is to be able to come off of the pharmaceutical and go on just like a natural beef thyroid, like a bovine thyroid, and heal myself. Like I feel like the body can heal itself. I don't buy into the lie that our bodies are incapable of doing that. But you have to change what you're doing. You can't continue doing what you were doing if you want change.
Okay, final question, Mama. We are running a little long here, but this comes from our friends over at Clueless Farm.
Hey, guys.
Local farm. Great couple. We've become friends with them.
Yep. And they're on
great.
Instagram too.
Go check them out. Clueless Farms. Knowing what we know now, what would we have done differently as far as our home build?
There's a few little things I would do differently in the house, but mostly I love the layout of our property. There's not a lot I would do differently on the outside. You said, what did you say?
My only thing, I love our home. There really isn't anything that I would change with our actual physical house.
Really?
No, nothing. I love the way everything turned out. And obviously, this is my vision for, you drew the house up after we had discussions about it. The only thing I would change, and I love the layout of our property, is a bigger shop, which we are currently in our shop. And this is just a guy.
What guy who doesn't say that bigger shop?
I actually spent 9 hours cleaning out our shop yesterday because it was an absolute disaster. And I love the shop. I love the option of having a shop, as so many men do. But we built the biggest shop that we could afford at the time. In retrospect, would I have gone bigger? Well, that wasn't an option for us because we couldn't afford it. But this is a pretty sizable shop. I mean, it's 64 by 40 feet. This back 16 feet that we are currently sitting in cuts into that. So it's 48 by 40. I would love a bigger shop.
Yeah. Okay.
Hint, hint.
Maybe that will be coming up. For me on the house, I would have put in a propane fireplace just for ambiance under the TV. And I would have done...
Stove.
I would have...
The wood stove.
I like the wood stove, but I would have, just for ambiance, like we had at the Battleground house, I would have done a fireplace there, and I would have done like a stone all the way up and hung the TV on the stone and had a really cool fridge mantle.
Yeah.
I would have loved to have a stone fireplace.
You know what else I would have done in the house? A crazier shower for us. Every time I see one of these showers that has 1,000 shower heads in it, I'm like, ooh, that would be
I feel
nice.
like you would just run out of hot water so quick.
We would.
Yeah. I think I would have gone tankless water heater.
Yeah, you know what? That's one thing. I would have gone tankless water heater.
We did not go tankless. We should have gone tankless because
then
as many people as we have, oh my gosh.
There are times where we do run out of hot water because we got six and a half people in our home now.
And I mean, I wanted to labor in the shower, and I literally was like, I can't labor in the shower because I'm going to run out of hot water.
I was concerned about it in the middle of it. You're freaking out. In my head, I'm like, please don't run out of hot water. Please don't run out of hot water.
I mean, I was in the shower for about 30 minutes. So if I had gone much longer, it would have gone cold. So tankless water heater, so I could have had lots of babies in the shower. And then I would have done a door going out the back. We weren't planning on creating a backyard, but now we have this beautiful backyard, and I wish that we had a door that went out the back, but there's really no place for that.
That doesn't bother me.
I would like to be able to go straight from the kitchen.
Walk around. It's not like we have some gargantuan house.
I know, but it would be nice to just go out the back, or I want to put Micah's swing set there so he can play wall rock by himself, and I need to be able to hear him.
Okay, we get it. You know what else? Bigger garage. That would have been nice. Our garage is pretty dang big too, but I like the man spaces. I would have gone bigger on the man spaces.
Yeah. I'm like, I want a stone fireplace, and you're like, shop. So, all right. Well, that was really fun. Thank you guys for all your questions. I think I might do this more on Instagram. So go follow us over there. And then maybe like I don't know what night, maybe every Sunday night, I'll do like 15 minutes answering questions.
Question and answer.
I like it.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for being here once again. For all of my fellow Americans.
And happy Thanksgiving.
I hope you have a very happy Turkey Day. Greatest country on earth.
Be kind to your in-laws.
Get along with everybody. Hopefully you're with your loved ones and all the people that you care about. Have a very
fight
safe
about
holiday.
politics or religion at the dinner table. It's rude.
Yeah, talk about what you want. No, but we hope you have a great time with your friends and family and you have a very safe holiday. And a lot of travel that happens on Thanksgiving. So hope you get from point A to point B. Lickety split, nice and safe. Enjoy time with your family. We will see you again next week. I think we're going to have Kaimani come in here next week. Kaimani has some great things going on. He's going to be talking about that.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very eye-opening for you guys. It's going to be a heavy podcast, very eye-opening. If you have children or grandchildren, please join us.
This kid's doing like a Dateline NBC episode on his YouTube channel.
It's
shocking.
Extremely shocking.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Okay. Love and appreciate you guys. Take care. Have a safe holiday. We'll see you next week.